Hello and welcome back to Beyond the Deals podcast. I'm your host, Gabrielle Simmons. Today I have Bob and Debbie with Smart Property Management. Thank you guys for being here.
Absolutely for having us.
Yes. Also great to meet you, Debbie.
Yes,
I know I've gotten the chance to hang out with Bob at our last event and watch him kick some butt in pool or lose.
I think Jeff did win, but we only had time for one game, so I was hustling a little bit. But he did win that first game. Way to go, Jeff.
Yeah. So yes, great to meet you.
You too.
And a quick shout out to our sponsor, Builders Outlet. Builders Outlet is your go-to for windows, cabinets, doors, and trim. You can find them here in Denver, Colorado, and you can visit them online by going to buildersoutletco.com. And also with that, you guys, I'm sure, have some clients that could check out Builders Outlet.
Absolutely.
Certainly. Yeah, we've got over 250 properties, mostly single-family homes. So whenever they need materials, go to Builders Outlet.
Yeah. 250, over 250.
Just under 250.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And so tell us how you guys run your company, being a newly established company, right? And handling so many properties. How do you guys manage to do that?
We assembled a great team. Again, shout out to Jeff, Ian, and Katie, and Debbie.
Who's really the star of
Yeah, we started the company 3.5 years ago with 0 doors, and now we're almost 250. So couldn't do it without Debbie's leadership and making those 3 great hires to help us run the company.
So tell me what made you want to start this to begin with.
Well, that's on me. So I've been in property management since 2016. I was with a small boutique company, loved it. I think when I joined them, they had 30 doors, and by the end, they were close to 200.
Wow.
But at the end of 2021, they decided to close their doors, which was a shock, and that there was an acquisition. Okay. So, the company that we were going to wanted to interview us. We had to interview for our job. So I went with the acquisition kind of to protect our property, like the way that I was before. Like, you're just so involved with the owners and the tenants. And here we were going to a big company that was departmentalized, so very different.
Yeah.
But they did provide an incredible opportunity for me, and I learned a lot, but I kept going to Bob. I'm like, I can't do this. This is not property management to me. I just had a way I like doing property management.
Right.
And he said, well, why don't you start your own? I'm like, no, that is not going to happen. But about 7 months went by, and I said, we're going to go on a little camping trip. We're going to go to Uray, one of my favorite little spots. And we're down there, and I was just like, Bob, I'm ready. And then his famous words are, how hard can it be?
Don't say that.
She repeats into
Yeah. So
hard can it be, right?
yeah, I gave my resignation, and we started Smart Property Management.
Wow.
It was just a goal for me I wanted to get in. I've always been in property management. So it's my heart and soul, and I love it. And there's a lot of negativity around property management.
Yeah.
So to start Smart, I said, you know what? I want to enter and leave this industry better than I came into it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Tell me what made the other company not ideal.
Because they're departmentalized. A lot of I call them big box companies where they have thousands of doors, or more departmentalized. So you may have a team, but it's very individualized. So one person's doing a leasing, one person is the property manager,
right.
One person is maintenance, one person is accounting. So it sounds great as a team, but you kind of get lost in translation. So if a tenant is asking a question, I wouldn't know that as a property manager because there's a tenant communicator.
Oh.
And so an owner would ask me a question about maintenance. Well, I don't know. I need to go talk to maintenance. So it was just very split up.
Yeah.
So I really like the portfolio-based, which is where you are one point of contact.
Yes.
And you're always one step away from the owners of the company. So very mom and pop.
Yeah.
Very hands-on, very committed to high communication and high service to everybody, not just the owners, but the tenants and our vendors.
Because each person that's a part of your team is managing, like you said, the property from start to finish.
Correct.
Yeah, so our property managers have a small portfolio, but they do everything. You're a showing agent, you're a leasing agent, you're a marketer. They do the reports. They move the tenants in. So they know the property because they'd been there. They know the tenants because they basically interviewed them when they showed them the property.
Right.
And they know the owners because the owners are their clients.
Right.
So they do everything. And it's a great experience for the owners because they call our property manager and they can give them answers right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love that. And that's very different from most companies for sure. And I can see how that really creates an environment where each team member really cares more, right? Because they're so heavily involved in every step of the way. They're going to be more dedicated to making sure that they're getting the right tenants and that they're solving problems quickly because they actually are dealing with the whole process.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, we went to a NARPM broker owner conference down in Florida a couple of years ago, and they've got some consultants there. We sat down with them and had conversations, and they were like, "You pay your employees with 50% of your revenue?"
Wow.
Yeah, they do a lot of the work. They deserve it. So they get paid a lot. And they do a lot.
Wow.
And so those consultants, they're like, "Oh, you could make so much more money using virtual assistants and AI." Like, no, that's not how we want to run a company.
Right.
That is our differentiator. You're going to talk to a human being, and that human being is going to have all the answers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
And us at Dealmakers, like we appreciate that model because same for us, and this isn't a new community model that we've created, but I've heard the same language of like, oh, you could make so much more if you, and I'm like, no, like we're here to build real relationships. We want to work with people in our backyard. I want to be able to sit down with the people that are part of our group. I want to like know and understand who they are, what they need, how we can help. That doesn't come when you're doing things that are purely based on VAs and, a structure that's volume-based instead of quality-based.
Right. And relationship building is the core.
Yeah.
And if an owner doesn't trust you, then you're going to lose them down the road. And it's building a relationship, not just a contract.
Yeah.
And, just like real estate, probably more in property management, the burnout rate is real. And 3-5 years, and they're burnt out, they're done because a lot of property managers in the bigger organizations, they'll be overseeing, 200, 300, 400 properties.
Wow.
Well, they don't know anything about, well, I shouldn't say they don't know anything, but they're not so involved like you are when it's really a baby of yours. Like, the tenants, the owner, the property.
Right.
So that relationship is huge. And that is, that's what I want to build. And anyone coming in and under SMART, we are very careful about who we bring because of the culture and kind of our goal and mission.
Yeah. And you're building it.
Yes.
You are. And it's growing. And I love that you guys have such a unique model. I can't wait to see you guys continue to grow. Tell me also, I know you guys have a passion for some nonprofit work and organizations that you contribute to and help.
Yeah, a portion of our revenue goes to 3 charities that are personal to us. The Colorado Coalition for the Homeless. We provide homes for people, and a lot of people don't have homes.
Oh, yeah.
Walk around Denver.
Yeah.
It is crazy world out there that people can't afford a home. So we like to give back to them. We also donate to the Amber Center, formerly the Crisis Center. They provide services for domestic violence and sexual assault victims. And then the last one is Voices of Awareness Facing Fentanyl.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's very personal to me. So unfortunately, I lost my eldest daughter, Emily, last year to an accidental fentanyl overdose, poisoning. So out of the blue. So that one definitely hit home for me. And it was really important for me to give back, to help families, help people in need and things like that, because it's a definitely a crisis here in the United States.
Yeah, it really is. And we're seeing more and more exposure in regards to that. And
it's everywhere and in so many things that you wouldn't even know.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm grateful for the awareness that's being brought to people for us to understand it. I know there's facilities now all over the place that have like a thing on the wall, right, with the Narcan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can go get Narcan. There's places around that will just give it to you free, no questions asked.
Yeah.
A lot of people try to test their drugs, but the amount of fentanyl that it takes to kill someone is a couple granules of sand.
Yeah, it looks like sand, and it's nothing. And if you kill a whole party.
Yeah, so if you're testing a portion of your drug that doesn't have that piece of sand, fentanyl in it,
Right. Yeah. Then you won't even know.
That's why you have some people that take the same drugs and somebody dies and everyone else dies.
Right.
It's a riotous.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very, very dangerous. Well, it's great that you guys give to those organizations, and that I know that that's really like a pivotal part of your operation.
Yeah.
And I see you guys sharing that on socials as well. And again, something that I super support, because I feel like, especially as business leaders, it's important for us to find ways to not just build our companies and revenue and all that's great, but also to contribute to the things around us, especially in our local communities, that help us create better communities, because that's what our businesses are here to do. But if we can help these organizations do more of that too, then we're just taking it even further.
Absolutely. And I think it's important to give back to the community. You know, people need things. And if you're doing well, it feels good to participate and give back.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely fulfilling.
Yeah.
We're also involved with the 3 chambers. So I'm actually the ambassador of the year for the Golden Chamber.
He loves telling that story.
Yeah. And we're also involved with the West Metro Chamber. And then one of our property managers, Jeff, is part of the Inglewood Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
But great way to give back to the community. I mean, in Golden, we had the candlelight walk last Friday.
Oh.
And they do the chili cook-off. So just a bunch of different events that bring the community together.
Yeah. I love that. Bob, what did you do prior to this?
I was a software sales executive, selling software for companies like Oracle and Adobe and a bunch of other companies you've never heard of.
You and Sufyan need to talk.
Oh, good.
That's his world.
Nice. I hope to meet him next Thursday. So I was doing that, and actually when Debbie, her company got acquired, she came home not in a very good mood. And I said, well, let's start our own company. How hard could it be? And she's like, nope, too much liability, too much work. I have to become an employing broker, this, that, and the other. I was like, okay, I'll go back selling software. And 7 months later, she'd come home miserable every day. She's like, but she was actually climbing the ladder at this company, and but it just wasn't what she wanted to provide her customers. And 7 months in, she's like, we serious about starting a property management? Yeah, how hard could it be? So I like working together with Debbie and not having another boss asking you to make calls and emails, follow up, and what's your quota. And it's
Oh, now she's the boss that does that, right?
she is. I won't say what I usually say.
Yeah, I was a little worried at first, but we get along so well. It's just easy. I mean,
Did you guys take the leap at the same time?
No.
Oh, okay.
So I seeded money for the company, and Debbie got it up and running. It wasn't big enough for 2 of us.
Right.
We started at 0 doors.
Yeah.
So we got the software that we needed. We got the flow to Debbie so she can survive without a paycheck. But a lot of Debbie's owners followed her from the company that acquired the other company, and it just snowballed, and it's just been on the rise for 3.5 years. It's been it's been a good ride.
Yeah. At what point did you decide to leave the software company?
Yeah. At one point, I was helping out here and there, but then it just got so big. And at one point, we had 23 doors, and I was helping out with kind of the maintenance coordination. And then we had an investor, and her niche, she just wanted to do single-family properties, single-family homes. That's it. And we had an opportunity with what we call an investor that has multiple properties. He had commercial, multifamily, and Debbie's like, nope, not going to take on like Debbie. This is going to double the size of our company, our number of doors. We're taking it.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So, and luckily we did, because he introduced us to another investor, and we took over 23 units of his. And he had a larger portfolio that he actually split his portfolio up. He gave half to us and half to another property management company. And this was a year and a half ago. And last Monday, he gave us a call and he said, hey, I'm going to consolidate my entire portfolio. Smart's going to handle it all.
So that's huge.
win, yeah.
That's a huge win.
That's great.
And I'll tell you, I learned so much from taking on that first portfolio with the investor. I mean, I knew how to do my job very, very well, but when it's more of an apartment complex or there's just one person to deal with and he's got other people to talk to, you're learning how to do different type of reports for them. You get really close to the tenants, actually, which I love because you're constantly on site for one reason or another. So yeah, it was the best learning curve I think I've ever had.
Yeah. No, that's great. And sometimes it takes somebody being like, okay, maybe you can do Harry, it's unknown. Yeah, but we're jumping in. We're going to figure it out.
Yeah, Debbie's all rainbows and unicorns, and I'm kind of the numbers guy.
Yeah.
ADHD, and so we've converted one of our bedrooms into a office, sharing office
With the pool table.
with a pool table, of course.
Nice.
That's why I had to play out there. But I get so focused on what I'm doing, I can't even hear anything else. So she actually has to raise her hand.
I'm not kidding. Like, my hands up. And they'll be like, okay.
Because you're dialed in with.
I'm just, but she's a multitasker and can do like 7 different things at once. But I
Women. Yeah, of course we can.
exactly.
I get bored if it's just one thing.
Right.
It's got a lot of things that have to be happening at one time.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's great, though. I know that's not easy, typically, for most people to run a company together and live together, and just being close.
It's crazy town in our house, but we love it.
Yeah. And, we've had to learn how to stop work or not bring things up after a certain time because I could work all day long. I mean, there's always something going on. There's something I can complete, something I can start.
Right.
And sometimes when we get text messages from tenants or owners early in the morning or an email and you're just lying in bed going, oh my God, and you're already stressed before you even got out of bed.
Yeah.
And so we've learned, we may not mention work until we're out of bed, for sure.
Right.
Or at dinner time, we're like, we just need to stop and we just got to let it go. And then we'll start again.
Silent.
Yes.
Yeah, at least for an hour or two, have some time together. Yeah.
But we do work on a lot of different things. So he is like that. The complete back end. So he will work on all the vendor agreements and paying people and owner statements and he does a lot of the business development and the networking. He loves that cold calling concept where I'm the warm person. Like if they've called me, I can talk to them for an hour.
Right.
All good.
Yeah.
But he's definitely the networking person in the team.
With a sales background. So to be a property manager, you have to be a licensed real estate agent. So Debbie's the employing broker. Our 3 property managers that work under her are licensed real estate agents. I am not a licensed real estate agent. I am not a property manager. I love to say I just run the company, but I couldn't run it without Debbie.
Right. Yes. And that's interesting. And I learned this. I started a property management company in Colorado Springs, which is where I've done most of my properties.
Yeah.
And you can manage properties if you're doing short-term or mid-term rentals, not your traditional long-term rentals without being a licensed real estate agent.
That's changing though.
There's
Yeah, I think.
Oh, wow.
there's some things you can do. Well, there's some things you can't do. I can't negotiate with tenants on rent. I can't negotiate with owners on fees.
Right.
So I just stay away from that. But got my hand in everything else. They call me Extra Bob. Sir. So if one of our property managers can't meet a prospective tenant at a property, I'll go open the door. They'll ask me questions. And I'm like, I'm just here to open the door.
Just here to help.
Exactly.
So it's it works out great. We're a great team of 5, and we're looking for our 4th property manager.
Yeah.
The way we've grown the company is Debbie will take on a portfolio. When it gets too big for her, she has a portfolio to hand off to the property manager that we hire.
Yeah.
Nice. So they're not building from scratch either.
They can bring on.
Add to their portfolios.
Yeah.
Debbie will give them a portfolio so they're not just starting from 0 doors, right?
Yeah.
So we have different splits if we give them properties versus if they bring on a property of their own.
Yeah.
So it's incentivized them to go out and get those owners and properties as well.
Mm-hmm. That's a great model.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's teamwork. The whole thing is teamwork.
Yeah. And you're setting them up for success from the beginning.
Right. Because as we talked before about the burnout, if you're not invested and you're just handed work and there's no appreciation, as you know, I mean, you just start to burn out and you look elsewhere.
Yeah.
And we are trying to develop like a great base so then they can maybe build a team down the road. I have a vision of how the base looks, and then after that, we'll see how that goes.
And then you can be one of these big box companies, right?
Never want to be
Not be compartmentalized like in the way that it is problematic. You can have a completely different structure, right, and still be able to handle.
It'll always be property manager with a small portfolio that they do it all. It just it works for us. Again, a better experience for the owners and the property managers. They, compared to what they did and how much they got paid in their previous roles, they're making more money with smart property management.
Wow.
Yeah.
And have time, have a family. Actually can pick up kids,
Be able to juggle.
be able to juggle. And it's hard because it's 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. And even though they have a portfolio, we back each other. We are a team. And like over the holidays, we're like, okay, who can cover what? So you can actually turn your phone off. And so we help each other because it is a lot.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, if you haven't noticed from my accent, I am from Massachusetts. And I actually from Foxborough.
Oh, okay. No idea where that is, but all right.
It is where the New England Patriots play.
Okay.
So I've been a season ticket holder for the Patriots since '96.
Nice.
Unfortunately, Debbie is a Buffalo Bills fan.
Unfortunate.
Oh,
It's not unfortunate.
I'm some Bulls you won.
We're not going to do this here.
So on Friday, we are traveling to Massachusetts to go to the Patriots-Bills game.
Nice.
And if the Patriots win, they will have clinched the AFC East division.
Which
And may have...
have been doing the last,
Oh, so you've had the last 5 years, but prior to that, the Patriots have the last 20.
yeah. We are a house divided, and football season is very serious.
I see that.
Patriots have been had a couple off years, but now we're back on top.
Where are you from?
Western New York.
Oh, okay.
So not Buffalo, but, Western New York.
Mm-hmm.
That's me. Small country town.
And what brought both of you to Colorado?
Ooh. Well, I've been here since 1994, but on and off. I was previously married, and we started a family here, and then just job opportunities. We bounced around. We landed back here. I just love Colorado. I went to school at Ithaca, so upstate New York. I lived in D.C. and North Carolina and Colorado. Like, we just kept coming back to Colorado, and I think this is just where home is now.
I love that.
I love it.
I love hearing people. I'm a native to Colorado Springs in my family. We've been there for like over 90 years. And I love hearing people's stories of why they settled. Most people aren't natives here, but what brought them and what made them settle here. And
Well, and it's hard with water. I miss water. I personally miss water. So I'm an avid hiker. So I hike near creeks and lakes, streams, all of it.
Yeah.
So that is my goal. And that just gives me my water fix. And then we go back to Boston so I can see the harbor and get some water time there and down to the Cape and back to Colorado.
Yeah. And you, Bob, what brought you out?
So I grew up in Massachusetts, grew up in Foxborough, went to college in Massachusetts, got married, had a baby, then got divorced. And then when my daughter was 8 years old, I had a 10-year plan. So when she graduated high school, I was going to go live somewhere else. I don't know where. It's a 10-year plan. I had a lot of time to think about it.
Yeah.
But she went off to the University of Vermont, and I was interviewing for a software company, and they had a West Coast territory open. So the company was actually based in Ireland. So the CEO flew over from Ireland. The HR director flew over. So I'm in my final meeting. I got the CEO, HR director, U.S. president, and my hiring manager. So I do my final presentation.
Wow.
And then I say, hey, I want that West Coast territory, and I want to move out there. Total silence, crickets. I was like, nope. And then the CEO, he's like, oh, I'd love to have a presence on the left coast. It's like, great. So my territory was Colorado and everything west.
Nice.
So I could live anywhere in my territory.
Yeah.
So I was considering Denver and San Francisco.
Okay. You definitely made a good choice.
I didn't want to be landlocked, so I chose San Francisco.
Oh, what?
So spent a couple years in San Francisco. And then now my daughter's graduating from college. She calls me up. She knew I was considering Denver. She's like, Dad, why don't you move to Denver? I'll move with you so I won't have to pay any rent. I was like, okay.
She's like, my problems are solved.
That's right. But best decision I ever made. Actually, she called me up in December of 2019, right before the pandemic. And I was like, yeah. Let me escape San Francisco. I didn't know the pandemic was coming, but from my friends that are there and what I heard happened to that city during the pandemic, they shut everything down. And, being here, moving during the pandemic, but, I love to golf, love to ski, love to be outdoors, bought myself a Jeep Wrangler, go off-roading, just love it here. This is home.
Yes. Yeah. So no plans to leave anytime soon?
No.
Good. Good.
Yep.
Now tell us your best or most fulfilling thing about running your company so far.
Well, definitely starting it. I mean, it was a leap of faith. It was really scary, but my God, best thing I've ever done. And I wish I did it so long ago. But, the time was right when we started it.
Yeah.
And I will say, bringing on property has been great, all the things we've learned. But honestly, the team that we have developed just makes it all work. It's just fabulous. And if I didn't have them or the culture that we have now, it would be horrible. And I know people do the one-man show, and I'm like, oh my gosh, the team is great.
Yeah.
We bounce things off. It's great. It's really great.
I love that. And I can see it. I've gotten to meet some of your team members, and they seem happy. They're proud, to represent the company and to speak to what you guys are building. And that says a lot.
And we do team building activities. So a couple weeks ago, we, you build up some anger when dealing with some people. And so we took the team axe throwing.
Oh,
Yeah.
heck yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, have you done the smash roos?
And that's going to be the next team building. Because, she's got to get a little anxiety out of things that happen every day and just blow off some steam.
But we also, as a team building exercise, bought Grinch onesies.
Oh, nice.
And so we went to Edgewater Public Market. It's a big food hall, but they have axe throwing in there. So we brought not a little section, big speaker, all five of us in the Grinch onesies. Oh my gosh. We walk into the place with the you're a mean.
Like he's got the boom box on here like it's the 80s. We're just walking. I love it. The Edgewater. And people are looking at us. They're smiling and walking all serious. It was great.
So it was great. There was this little boy, couldn't take his eyes off us, following us all around. And his mother's like, hey, the Grinch is his favorite character. Can we take a picture? Aww. So we took a picture of this kid, and I'll share the photo, but he made me look like he's going to grow up to be a serial killer. He likes the Grinch.
You look so angry. Oh, goodness. I saw the picture of you guys as a group. That was fun. Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
So we used the onesies again, and we had one of our vendors, Second Nature. They do a resident benefits package for our tenants, supplying with air filters, insurance, credit building, a bunch of other stuff. But we're meeting our Mike Parker from Second Nature.
Love
Yep. And we went to Woody's in downtown Golden, and we dressed up as the Grinch.
Again, yeah.
That's so cute. It's like, whoa, what is happening?
Quite festive. Are you going to be the Grinch for our event next week or in 2 weeks?
I don't know.
Think about it.
We're trying to get a lot of use out of that.
You might as well.
I'm wearing my Grinch socks right now.
Oh, I had slippers, fanny pack. It's good.
All the Grinch day.
Grinch stuff. It's very fun.
Love it. Now the not so fun part. Share with us what I guess maybe your biggest horror story or the most challenging thing that you've faced thus far?
I think evictions. We've only done two. We completed one. Actually, wasn't our tenant, wasn't our property. There was a self-managing landlord, and he had a tenant in there for 4 years, and then the tenant kind of went off the rails, stopped paying rent, some drug abuse. So he called around to a whole bunch of property management companies. Hey, can you help me evict this tenant? And I looked at David like, we really haven't done one. Let's be, let's
Good learning curve.
Good learning curve. So we ended up, evicting this tenant. But so our lawyer, Gabe Gilman, he's like, I've never seen anything like this. Like the tenant wanted to appeal the eviction.
Wow.
Hadn't paid rent in 4 months, and it was just, I'd feel bad if it was a family with kids and you're evicting them because the parents lost their job or something. But
Right.
this guy for sure it was I don't know. It was fulfilling to help this owner get his property back.
Yeah.
But the tenant did about $100,000 worth of damage to that. So he had to sell it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, as a distressed property. It was very sad. And that is the hardest part. Our job is to provide housing, and housing is a basic need. And everybody deserves housing, whatever that looks like. It should be, health and safety is the main concern. Yeah. That's the warranty of habitability concerns. So, we take that very seriously. We can talk about legislation later because there's definitely abuse of power by tenants now, which is very hard to navigate. But when you have to evict, it is hard. It's hard. You try to work with them, but I have found over the years and with the legislation, like I said, the tenants have a lot of power, which I don't necessarily disagree totally, but the language in the legislation makes it hard for us to manage these properties, make sure the property is protected, and making sure that the owner is getting its money for renting. And the concept that owners make like thousands of dollars every single month, that's ridiculous. They're not getting rich on their rentals. Now, investors are different, but they also are not necessarily getting rich. I mean, maybe if you have 100 properties, that's different. But these poor one-off owners, when things like that happen in the home, they struggle too. So you are now dealing with two sides. One, trying to get the tenants to pay, and then making sure that the owner can survive all of this that's going on. We are in our second eviction. It'll be a whole year till start to finish.
Whoa.
So it's very serious. And, the thing with property managers, we do our due diligence in the beginning, right? When people apply, well, like Bob said, we like to do in-person showings. I don't like self-showings at all. So you're getting to know them, because you're going to be managing for 1 to 2 years. So that relationship, like I said before, relationship building is incredibly important. And we have our application process. So they apply on our software, which I love, AppFolio. Thank you, AppFolio.
I've heard good things.
Oh, they're great. Big shout out to AppFolio. And they have a great background check. We do credit, criminal, and eviction. And then we also contact the current landlord. Because legislation makes it very difficult with what we can do with a background check. But we are allowed to use the landlord reference as a approval or denial. So that's the one thing that we still have in our court. So we take time to do all that stuff. And when people go around it and you found out later, it gets very difficult. And when tenants start weaponizing warranty of habitability, which is turning into more and more, it makes our job really, really difficult. Because we take pride in taking care of properties, making sure the health and safety is our main concern. But when it gets weaponized, it's becoming more and more, and it's getting harder and harder to manage. And that's why we tell our landlords, they're self-managing landlords, like, you need us more than ever because we have the infrastructure, we have our attorneys, we have the education. We're constantly learning the new legislation. How do we work with it? Working with our attorneys.
Because it does change a lot.
It changes every year.
Frequently.
Every year.
You have to change the lease every time there's a new legislation change to protect the owners.
Well, you don't necessarily have to. We do. Because the way it works is you can have your lease, and if something in your lease is not copacetic with legislation wins all the time.
Yeah.
So I like to have a new lease every year. So as new people are coming in or we're renewing a lease, it's up to date and we're just following suit. Same with our property management agreement, which has to be written by attorneys.
Yeah.
So we do work closely with our attorneys.
Yeah. No, and that's super important. Yeah. Over the years, I've known several self-managing landlords, and that's probably the number one area where they end up experiencing the backlash of managing a property themselves is when it comes to evictions and those difficult tenants where they're like, I never thought I would deal with this. And I didn't know, right? Like, there's so many like, oh, I didn't know this, I didn't know that. And that's, well, you're not a property manager. You're not up to speed on these changes. And so it's easy for us not to know, even as investors. You know, we know things in real estate, but we don't know all the details of how to manage properties and protect ourselves the way that we need to.
Yeah, we do this every day.
Yes. Yeah. Smart is lucky to have Debbie. She is on the leadership team of NARPM, which is the National Association of Residential Property Managers. She's the educational chair, so she's actually educating other property management companies, our competition, about all these legislation changes.
Right.
And now she is president-elect.
In 2027. Really excited. I love NARPM. It's the greatest support we have.
Yeah. And so those are the classes that you are leading most consistently for a year?
So for NARPM, I set the educational schedule.
Okay.
So I'm finding other speakers because they don't, we like variety. We like to change things around. I like to have a theme so the years it goes smoothly, like one leads into another, as well as our annual conference where they get a lot over here. Absolutely. And I just started writing my own classes that you can get credit for. If you don't need credits, I just come and teach them. The latest one I did was Happy Habitability, or you can call it Happy Habitability, but it's just talking about the holidays and tenants leaving and what happens to the property, who's responsible, understanding, what we're responsible for, what they're responsible for, and having some humor in all of that.
Yes.
And the other class that I spoke to was at the Landlord Symposium. And it was about who tenants are in our business. And they could be very good and they can be very bad. But for the most part, they're great. They're our clients and they're living in a house. They need a house, but building that relationship, making sure, they're getting what they need. And the resident benefit package really does help them build their credit. So they don't want to be renters all the time.
Right.
And we want to help them move on to that next place.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we actually partnered with a mortgage broker, Ben Binger from Alloy Mortgage. Shout out.
I love the shout outs.
So we teamed up to him to educate our tenants. We created a 3-part webinar series, Renter's Roadmap to Home Ownership. So renters don't want to rent forever.
Right.
They want to have a property of their own. So we invited all our tenants, but we recorded as well. So it's on our YouTube channel. And the first one was Credit Bill, How to Boost Your Credit. I was even educated on, in the past, I don't like credit cards, so I didn't even have any credit cards. I didn't have credit because everything was cash. Though my debit card. But my credit score was low. I was like, I went to Apple to get an iPhone one year, and they're like, "All right, you need a credit card." I was like, "Yeah, here's my debit card." Oh no, you need a credit.
Right? Yeah, some places
because we gotta run your credit. Like, well, I just want to pay cash.
Sure, yeah.
So a very educational series, how to get pre-approval process. It's a great educational series that we're helping our tenants, and they're part of our ecosystem. So we get us as a company and our employees. We got our owners who are our clients. We got our tenants, but then we also have our vendors. That we couldn't run the company without. We don't have internal maintenance people. You use third-party vetted vendors that we use all the time. They give us their preferred pricing. You give a trade service. If we call, they're going to get on it because they know we're going to give them more business every day, every week, every month. So it's great to have that here. So we want to expand. We want to go maybe expand up in the mountains, but that's a whole different area. So our service area is really from Golden to Aurora, Broomfield to Castle Rock. because we have those vendors here. So if we do expand, we got to find new vendors because the vendors we have around this area won't go up the hill.
Right. Yeah.
And, it's a whole different world up there. But
Different needs.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you need to know the needs of the properties. And when we're talking about, do we go to Boulder? We could expand even more, but we won't expand unless we have a vendor base because the vendors really are the ones taking care of the property. We're overseeing it.
Right.
We're talking about it. We're trying to troubleshoot. We troubleshoot all the time, which those are always funny stories. But at the end of the day, the vendors, how they are communicating, the timeliness, getting things done, they're also the heart and soul of our company.
Yeah. Can't do it without them.
No, not at all.
Yeah. So contractors of Colorado, that definitely get more connected with them as they have excellent vendors all over the state.
Yeah, can't wait to meet them all at the mixer on the 18th.
Yeah. Yeah. Will you be here?
Will I be?
You'll be. I will be here. I think all 5 of us will be here.
Yes. Good.
May you dressed up as the Grinch.
Oh, yeah. Maybe we'll dress up as the Grinch if we're all there.
Wonderful. Yes. That'll be great.
What kind is that? Because I have to bring.
That's 5. 5.
Oh, yeah. I'll be back.
Yeah. Well, this is amazing, guys. I really appreciate the opportunity to get to learn more about you guys, your story, what you're building, how you're creating a whole ecosystem that supports and builds all the different parts of your business and your clients and the tenants. I think that is probably my most favorite takeaway from our talk today is just hearing how you're supporting so many different pieces and not just trying to build a company that has a bunch of doors. Right.
Yeah.
You guys are so passionate, and I love seeing that.
We have fun doing it. You should ask us what SMART means.
Oh, yes.
Well, on the professional side,
On our website.
well, so
Has a dual meaning?
yes, there's dual meanings. So when I was at the previous company, we would have to do SMART goals every day. And I was like, okay, every day there's a SMART goal. What's your SMART goal? And I was at a run. And I was like, what are we going to name the company? And my kids were like giving all these silly names. And I'm like, no, it's got to be professional name. And no one wants your name.
Right.
So I'm like, what's my SMART goals? I'm like, SMART. I could play with that. I could play with the word SMART. So
As an acronym.
And I love my dog so much. And we only had 2 dogs at the time. So we ended up naming it Smushy Muffin and Regal Tiffany. Smart. Embarrassing. And now we have a puppy Yogo. So our kind of pet is Smarty Pets. So as I needed to add Yogos to my gosh. So we're a little passionate. I am very passionate about it.
But on our website, professionally, it stands for S for screening the tenants, R for reliability, maintenance, M for maintenance, A for assurance, R for reliability, and T for tracking everything with AppFolio. Track dictation, work orders, everything.
There's a professional side for sure.
No, that's
underneath. You have to make it funny.
Yeah. That's a good icebreaker when you're meeting landlord. You're like, yeah, so this is what it stands for. And you give them the actual backstory name and they're like, what?
But it makes you human. It's a hard job and you got to be human to human.
The dogs are on the website under our pet policy page. So
Pictures of your dogs.
it's there.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I love that.
I'd just say to anyone listening, if you have any questions about property management, like we mentioned, Debbie's an expert in this. She actually testified in a court case, right?
I'm in the middle of one. I just wrote
As an expert witness.
as an expert witness, and we have court in February.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah. So you do all the pieces.
All the pieces. And I'm actually on the tenant side, believe it or not.
wow.
I am. And it's down to the bones on the tenant side for this lawsuit.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Listen, we want to provide a great property to our tenants. We want to get off on the right foot with them. So we give them a little goodie bag to begin with, then has smart water, smart candies, smart food. We've got, if they have a pet, we give them some pet toys. And we give toilet paper, cleaners, done that they may not have. So it's, we're providing a home for people, and we take pride in providing great properties for people.
Yeah. You guys really care.
Yes, we
That's
do.
smart property management.
Yes, we do.
Yes. Well, thank you guys so much for being here with me today. You guys can find more information about Bob and Debbie and Smart Property Management in the show notes. Your contact information will be there for people to reach out directly. That's it for today's episode. Be sure to check out our next episode, which will also be packed with new things for you to learn.